Former prosecutor Wendy Murphy, are you as outraged as I am that this alleged child killer is sauntering free?
Look, I know I can't swear on your show without getting in big trouble, but if I could, I would, because this is the story that deserves us to use the strongest words possible. Not only did everybody who was supposed to protect this child, who knew she was being abused in the past, absolutely fall down on the job. Every government official responsible for that child's life failed her. Then they sent her back to live with the guy who popped her head flat, and she's dead. And the judge thinks that's worth letting him out on bail?
Eventually, Gomez,
Jane,
the mother of the child said he's a flight risk. The very mother of the child said, he told me if I'm accused of this, I'm taking off. Flight risk.
The mom herself has a history, and look, the judge has to weigh a lot of factors, not just that he's a flight risk. Does he have a background of doing drugs or alcohol? Does he suffer from a mental defect of sorts? These are all things that the prosecutor should have presented to the judge to make sure this prosecutor had a stellar case and to keep him behind bars until his trial.
Well, are you saying, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. Eric Guster, she seems to be saying that unless this guy has a history, a criminal history, or is mentally ill, he should be able to walk free.
Jane, some judges look at those issues.
It's a bond. Everyone is entitled to a bond in a case, and this man has no criminal history. He may be a flight risk. However, that's why he's on house arrest, where he can't even go anywhere.
Oh, well,
this man, I mean, it's a fair bond.
Let me tell you this. Little Desiree, let me explain a few backstory items here. Little Desiree died from skull fractures to both sides of her head. A doctor told cops that suggests somebody held her head so tight that her skull cracked. Imagine that. Cops say Dennis Doobie is that killer. So why is he roaming free?
Defendant assaulted Desiree with such force that the dying is almost instantaneous. He admits that he is the only one who is with Desiree and that he is the only one present when she is first on the ground, unresponsive, when her brain is swelling beyond repair.
Now, there's a lot of confusion about what he can do when he's out. Dennis Doobie is, according to published reports, supposed to stay away from his estranged wife and the home they shared. Instead, he's supposed to be staying with his parents, reportedly under 24-hour curfew. But when a reporter went to talk to him, the man who answered the door said that he was at work. So much for the 24-hour curfew. Wendy Walsh, psychologist, get this. This guy is reportedly, either was or is, the town's part-time animal control officer and a deputy fire warden. Could his connections to local government have gotten him a sweet deal?
Well, you never know, Jane. I mean, never know who knows who in law enforcement and in the courts to be able to give them that kind of deal. But clearly this is a guy who has an anger management problem. Anybody who can squeeze the life out of a tiny, adorable, innocent little child who was probably crying and screaming for help. This is why toddlers scream. This is why their scream goes right up our spine, so that we will give them the help and the care that they need, not beat the life out of them.